Welcome back, everyone. Are you having a good time? Yes. You know I'm needy. Welcome back, everyone. Are you having a good time? Yes. A really good time? Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, our next speaker is a fashion industry veteran who has consistently been ahead of the curve. As founder of Moving Image and Content, there is no one better than Quynh Mai at anticipating and engaging with the next generation, both in young people and in technology. And we better start figuring it out soon, because Gen Z, who grew up in a digital world, are about to become, get this, 32% of the world's population, edging out millennials. Bye-bye, millennials. So Quynh Mai is here to discuss how to harness the evolution of technology to better serve the next generation of consumers. Please welcome to the stage, Quynh.
Hi everyone, it's great to be here. I stand before you today actually as a war refugee. Here I am at 3 years old, just before my parents fled Saigon as American troops left the country. My parents came to this country not speaking a word of English, and the only job they could find was picking strawberries in the fields of California, despite being lawyers back home. My mother on weekends worked at a flea market selling French fries, which explains why French fries are my absolute favorite food, even to this day. Go French fries. Eventually, they made their way to Silicon Valley and became electrical engineers, which afforded me a fantastic education at Berkeley. But all I really wanted to do is come to New York and work in fashion. Years later, at what I thought was the height of my career, I was working with brands like Burberry, David Yurman, celebrities like Jennifer Aniston. I thought I was such a badass. But one day, I pulled all the coolest people I knew into a room and asked them, where do you get your design and fashion inspiration? And they gave me a list of blogs and websites I had never heard of, and I felt severely out of touch. Having grown up in Silicon Valley, I really understood the power of technology and believed that it was going to be what changed our industry. So 9 years ago, before the iPad was even released, I started my own agency. And you can see from our work here, I had to unlearn everything that I knew. Everyone in this room today is going through incredible change at such a rapid pace. We've seen brick and mortar retailers falter as online retailers continue to gobble up market share. We've seen brands like Tumi with thousands of points of distribution being outmaneuvered by DTC brands like Away. Condé Nast is constantly announcing staffing changes as well as title closings, while Bustle Media Group continues its acquisition spree, boasting 80 million readers every single month. Fashion weeks have turned into buy now, see now extravaganzas made specifically for Instagram, and even our most seasonal brand, Montclair, has gone seasonless. But you see, change is happening everywhere, and we're at this second wave of disruption where even the disruptors are starting to become disrupted. So you see Uber influencers like Ambi Song being outshone by virtual influencers like Lil Miquela. You see Snapchat, which really had a hold on youth culture with 300 million users, now competing with TikTok with 500 million users worldwide, and they're only 5 years old. Even emojis, which finally became the Oxford Dictionary Word of the Year in 2015, is being usurped by GIFs, stickers, emojis as a means of expressing ourselves. BuzzFeed, the digital internet darling publishing company, is being choked by the Facebook and Google ad duopoly. And even poor old Zuck is being disrupted by, of all things, a baby boomer. So we've lived through the first wave of disruption. We're in the midst of the second one. But the sad truth is, the minute we adapt, things are going to change again. I know that from my own personal life story and being able to work with a lot of brands in this space today. So what can we really do about it? Mary Meeker, in her Internet Trends report, said that we moved as a civilization from cultivation and agriculture, to manufacturing and industry, and today to what she calls compute, power, and human potential. What that really means is that technology is changing so fast that it's now mimicking human behavior. So rather than an appendage that you're a complete slave to all the time, it's now an invisible tool that helps you live your life. So imagine Google Assistant. It's 95% accurate. And by 2020, which is only next year, 50% of all search queries are actually going to be done by voice, which means that you can actually sit at your dinner table and not pick up the phone, which is amazing. TikTok really taps into every young woman's urge to perform for her family, but now she can perform for the entire world. But guess what? She is dancer, choreographer, director, music supervisor. She really owns her story. Online sites like Dispute allows you to connect with your friends and your community as an influencer or a celebrity, sending them videos, text messages, words, which is a complete mirror of the fan clubs of the 90s. Citizen app alerts you to crime in the nearby area, just like Neighborhood Watch. And Nextdoor is just simply an evolution of Craigslist, but now you can see what's for sale in your neighborhood, your block, and even your building. But we have to remember that there are another 68 million disruptors that we have to be aware of, and they are Gen Z. As was mentioned, they're 32% of the population, and they really millennials are dwarfed by them. But more importantly than their sheer size is the culture change that they're going to bring. One, they're the first true digital natives since birth. Remember, this audience was born into war with 9/11, and they really value individual expression. They are radically inclusive when it comes to not only sex, gender, but also opinions. They're more diverse and liberal than any generation before them, and they care about sustainability and the environment. And they really want value because they grew up during the recession, and they want more for their money. But most importantly, they care about values, and they spend based on their own morals and ethics. So as you can see, there's this huge convergence happening, one side on human computing and the other side on the rise of Gen Z. And so you might ask, what does it mean for me and all the people in this room? On the computing side, it means that we can use technology to create intimacy at scale, which means that we can understand what consumers want and need and deliver it to them. By being able to forge meaningful relationships with them, we can build brand loyalty and trust. On the Gen Z side, you have to remember that they have a combined spending power of $143 billion. I'll say that again, $143 billion of spending power, which dwarfs millennials' spending power of $65 billion. So they're a huge, huge population, and they represent a lot of spending power. And as an industry, I have to say that we've been really flat-footed when it comes to serving millennials. We really didn't understand their needs, and we didn't adapt fast enough to what they want. But with Gen Z, we're actually quite lucky because they're very expressive online and on social media, and they tell us what they want every single day, and all we have to do is listen. So this evolution of human computing, coupled with this rise of the Gen Z population, is really culminating in what I call sort of this sonic boom. We have no idea what's coming ahead of us. We can't even imagine what's to come. I can only say that I don't think that my son will ever need to learn how to drive a car, and that my grandson will never even know what a keyboard is. But rest assured, all of us in this room are absolutely ready for this. All we have to do is really act human. Thank you so much, and have a great day at FTF.